Hi everybody. Good morning, and I hope everybody's doing well. And I just want you guys all to know that I think about everybody that at the schools I work at, and I miss everybody. And I know that you've heard many of the stories that I've shared before, but I always think it's really important that we listen to stories more than once or twice, because we always can learn new things from the stories, and also I think they help us feel better. You know, they help us have a moment of imagination and wonder, and that's what's special about stories. And so in this story, it's about the black bear family and grizzly bear. And in our story, it starts off early in the morning. And the Mechach family has been awake for a long time already. And the cubs have been playing and having a really good time. And the Mechach parents have been sitting and visiting and wondering what to do for the day. And they can't seem to decide what to do. And so one of them suggests, maybe we could go out for a walk. And on our walk, we'll think of what to do. Oh, that's a really good idea. So they say to their cubs, Shima we michak. So that means, come here and sit down. And so the cubs come over and they michak. And one of the parents says, we're going to go for a matk. Oh, this is so exciting. So they start on their matk. And as they're going along, the cubs, they're starting to get tired and cranky. Just kind of like any other regular road trip. You know, when you're in a car and you have to sit in the back seat with your brother or your sister, and they're starting to get annoying. You ever get like that on car trips? Well, that's how they were getting. They were just playing and getting along, and then all of a sudden, one starts to cry, and the other one's mad, and they're not listening, and they're not behaving. And while this is all happening, the Mechach parents think, I know, maybe we could go to the river and we could get some tz'okwalt. That's a good idea. So they start to matk towards the river. And as they go to the river, things are not getting any better. The cubs still are not listening. And as they go along, the Mechach parents start to get concerned. Maybe the river is not a safe place for our cubs. But now I really want some tz'okwalt. And just at that moment, they happen to come upon this huge cedar tree. And it looks like it's been there for a really long time. So they say, Shimat we michak. So the cubs come over and they michak. And they say, we are going to leave you here by the tree of life. You will be safe here, but you must sit still and behave and be kind to each other. Can you do that? Yes, we for sure can do that. Do you think they can do that? And so the Mechach parents, they're not sure they could do that, but they continue to go to the river for some tz'okwalt. And as they're going on their journey, they it's just such a beautiful day. But the cubs, they're still cranky, and they're sitting there listening and behaving. But then one of them elbows the other one in the ribs. And he's like, why'd you do that? I was listening and behaving. Now he's really mad. So he elbows him back, and they start an epic battle, and they're having so much fun. They're tumbling and rolling around, and they're just having a great old time. And then at that time, Cuchulainn wakes up. Cuchulainn is a big old grizzly bear, and he has never had a bath in his entire life. And he's finally waking up, and it's almost past noon. And he stretches. And he meechucks. And he almost starts to toota. And his stomach goes, I'm hungry. So he meechucks. And he starts to matk. And he meechucks, and the sun is up high in the sky, and the sun is beating down on him, and he's getting smellier. He smells like a pishk. Do you know what a pishk is? Should I tell you what a pishk is? It's a... And he goes to meechuck. And he starts to do that. And his stomach goes, I'm hungry. And he meechucks. And his clarinets hears something. Ooh, so he looks through the brush and the trees. And he sees his lunch. Ooh, how am I gonna trick my lunch into being my lunch today? And he thinks really hard. And at that time, a breeze comes past him. And it reaches to the spatch of the cubs. And they start to snort their spashks. You pishked! No, you pishked! No, you pishked! And they start having a royal rumble. And they're having so much fun. And then Cuchulainn starts to matk towards them. Whom. Hello there. Oh, he pishked. And they're trying to be polite. And they kind of back away. And he says, I'm going to be making my lunch. Would you like to share my lunch with me? And they're like, They don't want to be rude, but he is a stranger. Well, our parents went to get us some lunch. And we'll be fine. Well, I'm going to make my lunch, and if you change your mind, please feel free to join me. Okay. So they go on the furthest side of the Tree of Life because he smells so bad. And they keep playing, and Cuchulainn gets really busy. He gets his cooking basket, and he gets his water basket, and he gets his cooking rocks, and he gets little twigs, bigger twigs, branches, bigger branches, and he makes a nice big fire. Well, not too big. Doesn't need to be too big. And he's waiting for his cooking rocks to get really hot. And at that time, he goes out and he gets his cooking basket and he fills it with all these beautiful leaves and piles them in, tests it, because he's got to put those cooking rocks in there. Doesn't want to burn his basket. And so he puts that aside and he puts some more big branches on. Looks and makes sure that his rocks are getting nice and hot. And then he thinks, I need my water. So he goes to get his water basket. And just as he's going to do that, all of a sudden, the Mechach parents sense danger. So they lift their shpashks to the sky, and they smell, and this breeze comes by. Oh, that's an awful smell. And they're snorting their nose. That's the worst pishk I've ever smelled. Oh, no. And they start to run towards the tree of life. Hoo, hoo, hoo. And they stop. And they look through the bush and the trees. And sure enough, they see Kechlalim getting his lunch ready. And past him are their cubs. Oh no, what do? We cannot outrun our cubs. So they need to come up with a good plan. So they're thinking, okay. So they start to run towards their cubs. Hoo, hoo, hoo. They run past Kechlalim. Hoo, hoo. They run past the tree of life. Hoo, hoo. They grab a cub each and throw them on their back, and they climb the tree of life. Hoo, hoo, hoo. And they look down, and Kechlalim's saying, I would share my lunch with you. I would share my lunch with you. And he starts snorting his nose, throwing his head around, throwing dust in the air. And they're like, oh no, he's not going to leave us alone. We need to come up with a new plan. So they start to look around, and they see something. Okay. Hey, you down there. Hey, Kechlalim. What? If you do everything we tell you to do, we'll come down there and have lunch with you. He thinks about it. Okay, what do you want me to do? First, we want you to back up. Oof. 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 Okay, now we want you to michak. Oof. Okay, now we want you to spread your legs apart. Huh? You heard us? Oof. Oof. Okay, more. Oof. Oof. Okay, we're coming down. Now the plan is that they're going to pretend it's really hard to climb down. And then the cubs are going to pretend that they're really scared of being up high. So they start to climb down, and the cubs are grabbing them by the neck, and they've got their hands in their paws in their mouth, and they're pulling on their clinas, and then all of a sudden, Kechlalim feels something. He's been sitting on an anthill, and all the ants have been climbing all over his body, and they're starting to pinch him. And they're pinching him here, and they're pinching him there, and he remembers about the river, and he's going to the river, and he gets to the river, and he lays down in the river with just his spashks above the water, and all the little ant corpses are floating away, and it's the first time he's had a bath in his entire life. And then the Mechach parents, they climb down and they walk home, and they put their kids down for tuta, their cups down for tuta, and they go to Michak, and they talk about the day. And one of the parents says, you know, when we were at the river, I saw the Lil'wat people there. And I thought they were not very smart because they had their cubs with them. And the river is such a dangerous place. But I really watched them. And you know, I think now they're really smart. Because they were teaching their kids how to be safe at the river, for one thing. They were teaching them how to fish at the river and how to swim at the river. I think we should do that tomorrow. So they go off and they go to that. And at that time, Cajon finally gets home. And he makes jokes. And he starts to do that. And his stomach goes, I'm still hungry. And he feels really sorry for himself. But he smells really good. Thank you very much.